Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? My name is Gina and I am doing great. Okay, so we've already done the container, and so now what I want to do is show you how we are to do the junk journal, right? I already recorded this, and then I inadvertently deleted some of this. So you will see I'm using a different paper right now, but and then you'll see later on this paper line. So don't be confused. It's because I inadvertently deleted what I'm about to record. So, and it's how to first put your book together, the covers. First thing we want is we have two on page 1. We have A, B, and C, which A is covers. We need 2 of those. B is the spine and guide. You need 2, not 3, but do not throw this away, because you will need this as your guide in order to create your junk journal if you're going to put your signatures in this way, okay? And that's the way I'm showing today. So you really don't need 3, you just need this. Okay, and then you need 1 of C, which is the closure, which is this part. Okay. And then the hinges, and then you'll need, of course, from page 2, you'll need 2 A's, well, 4 A's, 4 B's, and 2 C's for the mats. This is our mat page. And then on the hinge page, number 5, we'll need hinge D, and we need 8 of those. So I already have everything cut out, ready to rock and roll. First thing that we want to do, though, is we want to take our hinges, and again, I've already inked and I've already put tape on them. Because I want to use the Crop-A-Dile and put eyelets in this. So we need to do what I'm about to do first. And that is to put our hinges on just one spine. We just need it on one spine on both sides, right? So, let's see if I can line this up. Like something like so. I'll have to find my bone folder. There it is. Okay. And then we're going to do it on this side. So you need 4 for right now. Okay. So we're going to put it close to the edge. Not all the way to the edge. Close enough to the edge. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm about to run out of film. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and have our mats ready, which I do, because we're going to go ahead and mat both sides. So let me just put this down. And like I said, I've already inked, so one side is the inside and one side is the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my guide out, and I'm putting it right exactly on the chipboard, and chipboard is what I used, okay? So you want to make sure that you're good and lined up, and now we're just going to punch holes where the little hole lines are. It doesn't really matter if you go all the way through, because like I said, I'm going to be using the Crop-A-Dile, so as long as I can see where they're at, we're good. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile, and I'm going on the smaller hole, and I'm just going to punch out these holes. Oh, come on. Okay, and then once we get these holes cut out, we'll put our eyelets in. So I'll be back when I get these holes cut out. Okay, so I have the small eyelets here from Recollections, and I'm going to use the darker looking ones. And get them out. Okay. I believe you're going to need 2. Yep. Because it doesn't go all the way through. And that's okay. You can just put them kind of like this. And then you want to take your crocodile. See, that's the top. I think that's how I did it. Okay. And I kind of, and then gently, ever so gently, you want to just barely squeeze, and then there you go. Okay, so we're going to do that on all 6 of them. Okay, I'm not sure if, because my camera died on me, or the film ran out. So again, you're just going to put 2 eyelets together. Because the paper is so thick and the chipboard is so thick, one will not fit all the way through. And you're just going to ever so gently, I mean, I'm talking with the finest of finesse, with the gentlest of the gentles, just barely push it in, because you don't want to do it too much, because then you will mess up the inside in your twine or whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use crochet thread, will end up sawing and breaking. So we don't want that. So just gently, ever so gently, just so gentle, like you're holding a newborn babe. You're going to just gently do it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. And this will be good. And when I get done, then I'll come back and we will continue. Okay, so I've got that finished, and now what I want to do is I want to just go ahead and do it like now, like you normally would. So I'm gonna, it is a little bit more difficult only because you've got like both hinges on and all that kind of stuff, so it can be a little difficult. But because we are making the journal, we don't want to go all the way up like we did with our container. We do want to give it a good amount of space, okay, because you know, you want to be able to move your journal. And I'm going to go ahead and score here. It will just help. I should have done that for this one as well. Okay. Now we're just going to do this one. And I'm going to burnish this really, really good so that it doesn't go anywhere. And this is my outside, and this is my inside. So I just kind of want to keep scoring it as I gently pull it up, because you don't want to tear that. Again, I'm going to burnish it though onto the cover. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I'm going to do the same thing for over here. I just find it easier to do the bottom one first. And again, I'm leaving a good amount of space because you want to be able to close your book, you know. And I'm just making sure that I'm lining up here and here. And I'm leaving probably a 1/16 of an inch gap. Well, let me go ahead and score it. And I'm going to score it here as well. This will help it. Right? And then we'll go ahead and do this. I always like to put double hinges on like this on the inside and outside for two reasons. One is it looks good, and two, it helps, you know, give stability to the book, to your album. Now you could stop here if you want. You could just totally stop it right here, and you wouldn't have the closure part. You wouldn't have this part. But I think I want the closure part on there because I like it looking like it's a little diary. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm right side, and I am. So now you take your other hinges, your other 4 hinges, and we're going to need 2, and we're just going to go ahead and put it here. Now the hinges I made with 110 cardstock, and I have a new, I'm going to call it vintage ephemera. It's not quite ready yet, but I've created some paper colors to go with it, and this is one of them. So I just printed it out, but it's not quite ready. I don't think it'll be ready for a couple weeks, and it will be on my Etsy shop with all the other, because I still have to create. I've only created the paper. I've not created the ephemera or the embellishments to go with it yet. So, alright, so we have that, right? And then we're going to go ahead and, well, that's the inside, that's fine. And put this one down. Because I'm going to be making a couple of new albums, I think, that hopefully will be able to fit into this container, right? But they'll be albums and not junk journals. So that's my plan anyway. So I have to work on those. Not done with those yet. Okay, and again, I'm leaving a 1/16 of an inch, thereabout, gap here. Oh, that might be too wide. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to take our last 2 and we just want to cover that so it doesn't look so And of course, on the outside, you totally could use like a piece of fabric. That'd be good to cover the spines where you're putting it together. That would be pretty. Might do that on one of the albums. Oops. Just going to go ahead and score that, it'll be easier. Okay. Let's score that. Alright, so this is my outside. So again, I'm going to be scoring as I pull up gently. In here, because it's going to go like this. Alright, there we go. And that is our cover done for our journal. Isn't that cute? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I think this is coming up in the video, but in case it's not, because I can't remember, you know, what I said in the next section, I guess I can. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mat this. I'm going to go ahead and mat this, but I'm going to leave the front cover and the closure, the inside of those, without a mat on them for right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do the outside. Because when we put the clasp on, we have these brads, and we'll need to cover the little feet. So we want to mat that last. Okay? So, let me do that, and I'll be right back. And you'll probably start seeing this now. Okay, so it's dry, and it doesn't look that too awfully bad. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my matte template. Make sure, yeah, and cut out, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the A, and then I need, I don't need any of this spine, I've already got that, but I need 2 of B to cover that. So let me cut those out, and I will be right back. Okay, so we can go ahead and we can mat the outside, because the inside we want to, and we can do this inside, but we want to wait for this and this until we put our clasp on because of the brad legs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and get it on here. So I'm just going to be using my Fabri-Tac. It does have writing on it very faintly, so I'm trying to tell which direction it should go. But you really can't tell it, you know, unless you really, really, really are looking. So, alright. So I don't think y'all want to watch me mat this, but I'm only going to be matting the outside and this inside. And that's it. So I will be right back. And I just wanted to mention, I'm going to go ahead and do this. But now, if you wanted to put brads here, of course you would do that first before you put the mat for the inside on. But I'm not going to do brads. I thought about doing it, but now I'm like, no. I like it, that look, just the plain look. But that is an option. Alright, I'm going to wait to put the closure on because it is bulky. So I want to make sure that I can lay this down so that when I feed my, I just think it'll be easier when I put my for some reason, sometimes this Fabri-Tac moves on me. I don't know why that happens, but it does. Okay, so there we go. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I like it. It's going to be pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to put this over to the side. And I've gotten all my stuff that I need in order to create the papers. Now the best thing about, or the great thing about junk journals is that you can make them out of anything. I've seen them made out of old, just old scraps of things, old envelopes, and things like that. But I'm using, well, let me show you what I'm using. Okay, I have these craft tags that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to go ahead and fold them in half, because that's all I did before. Right. Anything that you can fold in half, you can use. Okay, and these are the papers that I'm going to use to make my envelopes. So let me get my scoreboard out, and we'll make an envelope really quickly. On the back of my scoreboard, you know, they tell you all the goodness. Let's see. I think I wanted it to look like this. Alright, so I'm going for the A6 because this is a 9x9, and you make it like a diamond. And you just line it up. See this little dotted thing? It says A6. So I want to make sure, so that's the second line. So you just maneuver it until it's pretty much centered, like that. Okay. Alright, and so now I need, what did I do with it? There it is. There it is. Alright, and so A6 is here, this line. So it's this line. Right, and then A6 is the second line here. And of course you could do this all by hand. I've done that before, but this is just easier. Okay, and now you just fold this up like so, and there you go. So now you have your envelope, right? And then you just, what I do is I notch these little corners out here where they've creased, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and ink it. You don't have to, but I just want it to look that way. And let's see, look at this one. Oh, this is kind of hard to see, that one. Okay. So again, here's your envelope. And what I want to do though is I'm going to cut this like so, because it needs to, because we're going to end up folding it in half, of course, right? Because it's got to go in the book, the journal. So we've got it folded in half. Why am I losing all of my tools? Where is my bone folder? I just had it. Really? Oh, I laid it over. Alright, so we want to fold it in half. Okay. because when we put it in the book, that way it'll be easier to get it in the book. So let's move this out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And now I want to put tape just down this edge here. There we go. Cute. So there's our one envelope that will end up going in the journal. Isn't that cute? I love it. Alright, so let me make the other one. Do it just the exact same way, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it done. Isn't that sweet? I just love it. I was thinking of having it go long ways, but it's too tall. So maybe next time I will make it smaller. The smaller one, so that I can make it more of a tall, skinny, tall. Okay, so now the rest are just regular paper. I have just craft cardstock. That I'm going to use, and on this one you need to cut it in half, so it's 5.5 inches, and then we fold in half again. So we cut it in half this way, right, so that it's 5.5 inches because it's 11 inches long. So we need to cut this way, and then we'll fold it in half. So let's do that. I have my little cutter that I think I can use. Let's move this stuff. I think this cutter, you might not be able to see everything that I'm doing, but I think it'll be enough to understand. Move my ink over. Alright, so we want it at 5.5 inches this way. And we'll just cut, and now we're going to just fold it in half this way. And then there's one. Right. So, like that. Oh, okay. So, and then let me fold this one. So we got those. And now, let's see. This is my watercolor paper, and of course it's a little bit longer. So, but we're still going to cut it in half. So that'll be 6 inches because it is 9 by 12. So again, we want to just go at 6 inches. Here, cut it in half, and of course you don't have to be precise either. And then we're just going to fold it in half as well. And then this is a piece of just mixed media paper. So on this one again, we're just going to cut it in half. It's the same size as the watercolor. So fold it in half and burnish it. All right. Okay. Okay. So, yes, the house is getting painted, so the dogs are going crazy. Please forgive me if I have to turn off again abruptly. I don't think you want to hear them barking. So the last two things that we have to do is notebook paper and graph paper. And I just, on my printer, I have a Canon, I'll put that in the link. I don't remember quite the model number, but it's, you know, it's got the scanner and all that on it. But what's so cool, one of the features is you can create your own notebook paper and you can create your own graph paper. So that is exactly what I've done. And of course you can use just regular graph paper and regular notebook paper. I mean, it's totally up to you. So on the notebook paper, I'm going to cut it to 6 inches. And then fold it in half. Whatever way. Let's see. It's going to go in like this, so we'll fold it like that. Alright. So that's one, and then we'll do the same thing here. Okay, so we have that. So one will be longer than the other, and that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. And then with but what's cool is that I used a piece of drawing paper. Either drawing or sketch. It might have been sketch paper. And I just, again, fed it through the printer and printed it off, and so then you just need to cut this down because it is 9 inches. So I think I'm going to use the smaller grid on this one. And again, you're just going to cut it in half. Let's see, how long is it? Yeah, it's 10 and a half. So what, 5 1/4? Go 5 1/4. And then fold it in half again. And there we go. So now we have all of our pages. And again, one's bigger than the other, but like I said, I'm okay with that. Alright, I'm done with this. So let's move this out of the way. So now, what we want to do is we want to create our signature. And I used the mixed media first, and then I went notebook paper, and then I went watercolor paper, and then craft paper, and then graph paper. Uh-oh, what just fell? Ow, it just hit my head. And then the envelope. Thing is falling off my desk. And then a tag. That's the very last thing that I did. Alright? Okay. So, that is basically what our signature looks like. Now this is when we need our guide again. Okay, just wanted to show you with the paper clips on better how to do this. And then we can just lay our guide on. And again, you want to make sure that you're pretty centered. I mean, you don't have to be too perfect, right? See how easier that is. Okay, see? So I'm just taking my pokey tool and lining it up with these and just pushing it in. Alright. And I'm taking my crochet thread. I got this color because if you ever, you know, you could easily, just like you do with ribbon, the seam binding, take your inks and you can color it whatever color you want it to be. Alright, and so now, again, we're going to start in the middle. Get it all the way through. Go through the middle here. Again, trying to do this on camera is more difficult than doing it in person. I mean, doing it off of camera. So, if it looks like I'm struggling, it's only because I'm trying to keep it in camera shot. It's really not that hard. Okay, so now we go up to the top and then come through that hole. Watch your fingers, you don't want to get poked. Okay. And pull it through. And again, I like to go under so that I'm kind of creating a little knot here in the middle. And again, we're going to go try to find this hole to go down through that little rabbit hole. It's kind of difficult to see the string. It would have been easier last time, didn't it? Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Alright, now I'm going back through the middle, pull. I'm just going to pull it on through. Pull this. Okay. I'm pulling it pretty tight. And then again, I'm going through the last hole there. And I'm going to just push it through, pull it through. Alright, and you want it to be tight. Oh no! That has never happened. Oh, I know probably why that happened. Okay. That's okay. Pull. That happens. It was probably because of the eyelet. Because it's metal, it might have like kind of sawed it a little bit. But as you can see, that happens. Don't panic. It'll be alright. We can fix it. Alright. So we're through there. Let's come up back through this way. And again, I like to kind of come under. And alright, other signature. You're just wanting to be the star today. Alright. Come on. I promise it's usually not this difficult. problem. Now we're going to go up this hole and feed it through. Alright. Now then. Alright. Make sure we're good and taut. Alright, there we go. I'm going to take these off. And now we have our signatures. So, and the more you work the book, the more they'll lay down. So, there we go. Isn't that cool? And again, in my head, this is more of like an art journal, you know, than a journal. But isn't that cool? I love it. I think it turned out really neat. Okay, so there we've got that. Now, then, what I want to do is, I've got one more thing that I want to put in the middle of this. So, let's just set this aside for just a second.